Welcome to the Top 25 Today. I am your host, Carrie Roberts, and today's interview is part of the Top 25 Today voice technology companies that can help your business scale. Joining me today is one of those voice technology companies, CZM Son, and their U.S. Managing Director, Colleen Fahey. Welcome, Colleen. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for letting me talk about my favorite subject.
Yes, I am so excited. Now, CZM Stone, it has been around for a long time. It has been known as a global brand that helps with sonic branding. Can you tell us a little bit about how and why the company started, maybe some of the history and into the type of work it does today?
So the history is actually very long for sonic branding. It started in 1995 by Michael Boumendeel, who is the founder and still with us, the president and the chief creative officer. And he was at an entrepreneurial university in France and was able to give a pitch in a contest of ideas for companies. And the firm that he pitched was an idea of a company that did branding, but not in visuals, but in sound and music and voice. So when he won the competition, he thought, okay, I'm going to try this. And he started the company 25 years ago. Then there's another story, would be my story, when I went to the first audio branding congress that had ever been held in the United States. And I knew nothing about audio branding. I thought it was about connecting bands and brands. And when I saw what they were doing, I was just floored. It was so beautiful, coherent, sensible, and so big. And I felt that branding had gotten sort of squished into little tactical avenues. And I felt that this was it. This was so encompassing that I gave up everything else in my marketing world. And I decided to bring the European professionalism to the United States.
Yeah, and for those that don't know what sonic branding is, how would you describe it?
Well, the easiest way for me to describe it is to use an analogy, which to say just the way that a brand has colors, typeface, logos, and patterns, they also could have a visual brand that has the same consistency, the same rules, and the same idea of tying the brand together at every single touch point, the big important ones in huge audio shows where you're announcing a new car, to tiny little business cards, but having a consistent thread that runs through auditorily, just the way you have something visually these days.
Yeah. And for people that don't know you all as well, what type of businesses or niches do you normally work with?
Whew. Wow. We work in the financial services sector for sure. And we work in pharmaceutical and packaged goods. And we have shoes and boots company, so that's just to show you that we're not all these huge companies. But then with our colleagues around the world, we also do automotive and luxury and mobile, of course, and so many different categories, because everybody needs a brand and everybody needs an audio brand if you need a brand. So we often have very large global clients, but we also work with small and medium clients too.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about how CZM Stone helps businesses scale using voice technology specifically?
Well, the big thing in voice technology is that if you scale, you have a chance of losing your clarity, right? You just suddenly are everywhere talking to a lot of people. The wonderful thing about audio branding and sonic, it's the same thing, sonic branding or audio branding, is that it can help you scale with coherence. So if you choose a voice that really symbolizes and characterizes your brand with the right archetype that matches your brand, and music that helps give cues that help people recognize that they're in your environment and not just floating around in a world of Alexa or Google, and make sure that the micro melodies that help people understand where they are in the process are associated with your brand, that you can stand out and not be vanilla, like those old ad mats that everybody looked the same and it looked like it came from the newspaper instead of the company. Now you need to think about the world of sound the same way that you had to think about the world of visuals in the 40s and 50s.
And can you give us some examples of clients that you've worked with, some success stories of how you've been able to help them scale using voice technology and sonic branding?
Well, I could tell a story about a company that came to us that was looking for help in brand recognition, in awareness. And the company is USAA, and they came to us for a sonic brand. And they went through a very careful process, and we came out with them with a sonic brand the very end of last year. And that brand suddenly got picked up when Veritonic did its brand logo index, and it, from nowhere, zero, not heard, it became above average in its branding attention. Its whole brand, its whole audio brand, ahead of Netflix, ahead of McDonald's, and close to some very big insurance companies that have, like Nationwide, that have been in the market for decades, and also was rated as the 5th most recognizable brand, like that people could understand that this audio brand was for this company. So it's been an amazing, like, immediate change in what people can tell is USAA in the marketplace. So that's going to continue. They're in many different touch points, and I'm sure when they get to voice, it'll be also their brand will come into the voice world. But at the moment, it's advertising, it's meetings and events, it's their on-hold music, and it's in their branded content too.
Yeah, I think for those, again, that aren't familiar with sonic branding, you said it beautifully that it's really like an audio brand, just as you would have a logo or a graphic, and for people to hear it. And when you have voice, you can't always see things. And so you have to be able to stand out with your brand, which brings me to the question of what makes CZM Son unique? What is their brand? In other words, what makes your company different or unique against its competitors?
Well, one of the main things is that we are not a music house. We are a branding agency. So we're a branding agency like any brand image or Landor or Future Brand or Interbrand. The only thing is we don't work with pencils, right? We work with music. And we don't see ourselves as musicians. We see ourselves as people who are there to help your brand get attention, stand out, be understood, be distinctive and competitive, of course. And we are there to also ensure that we're building really long-term, long-lasting brands that can come with you. We have brands that have been in the market for 10 years, for 20 years. And so our goal is to create a brand that really is sturdy, has legs, and can evolve as your company evolves and your marketplace evolves, but has a solid core.
I like that. You work without pencils. That's nice. I like that distinction. And again, being helping with the branding side. If people want to learn more about the company, they want to connect, where's the best place to do that? Via a website or on social media?
One of the easiest places is to look up Colleen Fahey on LinkedIn at Sixiéme Son, because Sixiéme Son is so hard to spell. I don't try to give you the website, though we have a very nice website and you should go find it. It starts with the word six. So just Colleen Fahey on LinkedIn is a good place to start, and that can lead you, and I can lead you to any place that you need to go to help understand this.
Perfect. Well, I thank you so much, Colleen, for sharing your insight about the company and for telling us a little bit more about CZM Stone and how you're helping businesses scale using voice technology.
Okay, thanks, Carrie. Nice to talk to you again, and hope to see you soon.